Hey everybody, Garrison back here with another deck tech. Maybe run through the deck a little bit. Last weekend, or last Friday night, we played Orzhov, I guess, Command, if you want to, that's what you want to call it. We played Command the Dread Horde. Changed things a little bit from the deck that I previously posted. Dropped the blue, just played straight black-white, but had some fun with it. Didn't play out the way that I'd anticipated or hoped that it would, but then again, I also didn't really play an aggro deck. I believe I played a control deck, played a burn deck, more or less, and then the last deck, my opponent was very, or fairly non-interactive, I guess I should say. So, really good guy, but he's also using a Planeswalker deck to start. So, I didn't get the matchups that I thought I was going to see. I thought we were going to see quite a bit of aggro, being this first week of New Standard. So, but while we're sitting there, at the end of the night, myself and Matt and Larry, the person who did the other deck tech, who was playing the control deck that I played in round one, started talking and thinking about different things that we liked. And one of the things that came up was Bolas' Citadel. Just trying to figure out if there was a way. This thing came out, looked like it was going to be absolutely amazing, and then very few deck lists I've seen have popped up and really wanted to play this card. There's not a lot of life gain in black, so it's 2 points here or a point there, so no recurring life gain except for one card in black. And that's Tezzeret. So we started talking about what different things were out there, and started bringing up the fact that if you play Bolas' Citadel, you probably want to play Tezzeret. You probably want to play a bunch of artifacts to go along with it. And then you could play Ugin and Karn, whether or not the old Karn or the new Karn was a good or a better fit for the two. So we started talking through a bunch of things and thinking about what the best options for that would be. And it seems like 2 and 3 mana artifacts were the best option for the simple fact that if you have an Ugin out, then it doesn't matter because they cost 2 less. So you're paying 1 or 0 for the artifacts that are in play. We had thought about playing, or talked about playing some of the larger artifacts, but didn't want to get the curve way too high. The fact that you're already playing some Tezzeret, Bolas' Citadel or 2, and a couple Ugins. So we started talking about what the mana base would be, because you're just playing Tezzeret as the blue, everything else is black, and then started thinking, well, if we ramp up really high, then we can cast multiple things in a turn, especially if the first one's an Ugin, we can just start to go off. So kind of looked at the chromatic black mana base that Aliantrazi had put together a while back, and which is strictly just 21 swamps and some Cabal strongholds. So kind of take that down a little bit. Decided to play 4-Drown Catacombs, since the only thing that does not allow them to come into play untapped is the Cabal stronghold. So 25 lands, it may be too many. Not 100% sure. Played a little bit with it. Seems to be okay as long as you can last longer into the late game. Then started to go through different ideas and things that people have picked up on, and one of the things that you see a lot of is there's a couple people out there that have put out some colorless decks, is that you're all 3 of these. Now, one thing to remember is that if you're playing the new Karn that is there, your sideboard needs to be artifacts, and it needs to be almost exclusively artifacts, so that way you have something that you can do. Seeing how a 2/2 or a 3/3 out of an artifact is probably generating some mana for you isn't that great, especially with Fountain of Renewal. So go over a couple of the cards we got here. So one's 1 Fountain of Renewal. As of this morning, it was 3 Fountain of Renewal. I cut 2 for 2 Ritual of Soot, just because the cries are good, but they don't kill things like Goblin Chain Whirler, and that thing is still out there running around rampant. So, but Fountain of Renewal is pretty good. If you get in the late game, you can gain a life every turn, but then at the same time, with Tezzeret out, you gain a life for having it on the battlefield, or if you need to, you just sacrifice to draw a card. So if three Guild Globes, 2 mana draw a card, not horrible. The 2 mana tap and sack it to add 2 mana of different colors. Works out fairly well for Tezzeret if, say, something goes horribly wrong, and you're just sitting on Swamps and Cabal Strongholds, and you don't have any of the other mana producers that are in the deck to give you the blue. So, Thaumatic Compass is pretty good. Contemplated playing a couple more. You do hit 7 fairly consistently. You don't necessarily need to ramp with your lands in this deck. The artifacts are doing a lot of that for you. But the fact that you do get to just stave off random, Rekindling Phoenix, or some of the bigger dragons that are out there right now that people are starting to play. Just being able to remove them from combat, since there's not really a good way to deal with them outside of the Finale or the Restless Attempts. So, and then we did 2 treasure maps. Was gonna try to play 4. Treasure maps really good, and you can do some pretty dumb things if you can ramp up there and play a Tezzeret, keep some treasure tokens on the board. But 2 seems to be about the right number for right now. At the next is really not a 2-drop, but the 10 just put it in this slot. Finale of Eternity is really good. So we're not playing very many creatures, but the creatures that we do have do come back and cantrip for us. So it's pretty good there. And the fact that it is just a pick 3 for whatever toughness you need. We can ramp up pretty high. I've fairly reliably cast this for 10 plus every time. So, and sometimes it's just fun. You cast it for 10, you get back a Skyscanner, and it's just the one, doesn't matter, but you're dealing with everything else that's on their board if it doesn't have hexproof. So then we have the lone wolf, I guess, if you will, here in the deck. It's the only creature that we're playing currently. That's Skyscanner. 3 mana, draw a card when it enters the battlefield. It's a 1/1 flyer, not that big a deal, except for the fact that it is a flyer, so it does block things with flying that are very relevant in this, because everything else makes something that is on the ground. So just having this as a 4 of blocks for you, and then you can buy it back later if need be, draw an extra card, and just kind of wait until the game gets into the later stages where you can get the lockout with your Planeswalkers. So one thing that doesn't work too well with that Skyscanner is the 2 Cry of the Carnarium. So it's the thing to remember, but usually when you're playing Cry, you're way behind, don't really care. So everybody knows what it does. This one exiles for the simple fact that you have a really hard time beating the things that recur. So things like Golgari, where they're finding back their creatures, it's been very difficult to be able to overcome that card advantage that they have. So next is Chromatic Lanterns. It just allows your swamps to be able to tap for blue for the Tezzeret, and it ramps you 1 piece, which is fine. The other thing to note is that it does become a 3/3 with, where is he? So right here, Karn. So the fact that you can play this on 3 and then play Karn on 4, and you have a 3/3 just in case, that does work out pretty well. Sometimes you don't care about having the mana from the Lantern or the blue because you already have the Drawn Catacomb. So 3/3s aren't bad. The fact it's just an artifact that's sitting around doesn't really matter. So, and then you have 4 mana Geodes. So 3 mana Scry 1, and then add 1 mana of any color. This is also pretty good. So we are playing heavy on the rock side, but the fact that you do get to either draw a card with the Guild Globe when it comes into play, or Scry 1, which is fairly relevant with this deck, because we do want to draw lands, but we don't want to draw so many lands that we can't draw the rest of the deck. Anything that will actually help us out at all. So it's pretty good. Like I said, I just this morning added 2 Rituals of Soot. Not sure how this will play out. I may go back to Fountain of Renewals, but it's there. Just being able to deal with some things that are a little bit bigger that maybe the Cry of the Carnarium doesn't get to. So then 2 staples of the Restless Contempts. It's pretty good against any Planeswalker deck, seeing as how we're not pressuring them with actual creatures. So we're able to deal with them pretty handily. Next is 2 Karn, Scion of Urza. This thing almost exclusively ticks down twice immediately if it lives. So I've had 11-11s, 12-12s, 13-13s. It's pretty good, and it does a lot of work. This card does a lot of heavy lifting, and I almost think it may be included as a 3 of, but so far haven't had too many problems just playing the 2. Next is Karn, Great Creator. Thing to know is that activated abilities of artifacts your opponent's control can't be activated. Not such a big deal against us. There's not too many artifacts running around that do things that are just absolutely ridiculous. It does shut off, I guess, a couple of things like Thaumatic Compass and Treasure Map if you're, say, playing the Mirror. So, but I've yet to really see any of this out there. So, if somebody's on a hard ramp with a bunch of rocks, I guess that would be one thing. So, but this just basically say pay 4, turn something into a creature until your next turn. So the thing to know, though, is it does have the, like I said earlier, choose an artifact you own from outside the game or in exile, reveal that card, put it into your hand. So it's pretty good. Now, the nice part about it is if something does happen, you do have to exile a Skyscanner, and that happens to be the one card that you need to get back. You can get it back with the Great Creator, but we were playing a bunch of cards, and it looks like all 15 are currently artifacts. So we'll get to the sideboard. Just remember that this guy can go grab anything from over here. So he does tutor for a card for you there. Next we have the one of Bolas' Citadel. This works great with Tezzeret. So just the simple fact that if you play Bolas' Citadel, you're playing off the top of your library. You can play a land off of your library. So if there is one in your hand, do not play it if you can cast Bolas' Citadel first. Being able to make that land flip over and right into play, way better for the simple fact if you can't find something like a Mana Geode to push that land to the bottom, it's sitting there and you're going to have to draw it until your next turn. So unless you could play something like Ugin to flip it over and turn it into a 2/2 for you. So it has quite a bit of relevant text on it. It says that you can play the top card of your library, or you may look at the top card of your library, not reveal the top card of your library. So you do get to see what is at the top. Your opponent does not know what's coming up. So if you were, say, to put this in here with something like Cry of the Carnariums and Ritual that's sitting on top, and you know that you're going to board wipe, something's going to happen, you can kind of trick your opponent into combat, attacking with some things, maybe thinking that, oh, they're going to board wipe anyway, I don't know what it is. Well, if it's a Cry of the Carnarium, maybe you absolutely need them to block. So you can get that and get some value out of that. So, and then it has the sacrifice 10 non-land permanents. Each opponent loses 10 life. Pretty good. So it does not say you gain any life, so you do have to be careful about that because you're just taking damage when you cast those spells off of your library. But the fact that it can just half your opponent's life total or finish the game off if they don't have something else to respond with, it's pretty good. We're playing a massive amount of artifacts. So a lot of people do read this, though, as sacrifice 10 permanents, and it is 10 non-land permanents, so that's one thing to think about when you're out there and you're having to churn out a bunch of extra artifacts. You do need some of those little 2 and 3 mana artifacts just to be able to do that. So next is Tezzeret. This guy's really good, and I didn't think about it. So for 6 mana, he's a blue-black 4 colorless. Creatures of Planeswalker spells you cast have affinity for artifacts. This guy is amazing in a I want to say colorless artifact deck. Doesn't matter what else you're playing. The fact that I've played him and just been able to empty my hand strictly between Tezzeret and Ugin is ridiculous. So when you start off, if Ugin's on the battlefield and you play the Tezzeret, you get to play these 2 mana guys for 0, and then next thing you know, you're playing these 3 mana guys for 0. Now we don't have anything that's bigger than that until we hit the Karn, go find something huge, and then you can play a 6 or 7 mana artifact creature for 0. So it's pretty good. So alright, next thing I guess we're going to go over the fact that what his abilities do, which are fairly relevant. So his +2, he deals X damage to each opponent where X is the number of artifacts you control, and then you gain X life. So the nice part about this is that he deals X damage to each opponent, not target opponent. There are a bunch of things flying around that give you hexproof. So being the fact that you can still plus him and you don't have to target your opponent is pretty nice. Next is -3 is return target artifact card from graveyard to your hand. I've had it a bunch where it's been play Bolas' Citadel, do a bunch of stuff, crack this Fountain of Renewal, -3 on this for some reason, get back a Fountain of Renewal, play the Fountain of Renewal, and just need, usually playing it for free. But ticking up 1 life is super relevant because you need to go down for Bolas' Citadel, then have that extra artifact back to go back up for Tezzeret. So then next, one thing I haven't been able to do is -8 and exile the top 10 cards of your library, put all artifact cards from among them onto the battlefield. This deck doesn't benefit a whole ton from his -8, so 2s and 3s are really good. I'm not sure if I would even use his -8. I guess if it got really down to the nitty gritty, but I would still be afraid that I would hit the cards that I need to hit to be able to make this thing lock the game out. So next is Ugin, the Ineffable. Ugin was previously he was great in previous standard when his other counterpart was made, and has been a staple in modern decks. So now having this one, Ugin costs 6. He's a rare for 4, but colorless spells you cast cost 2 generic less to cast. Great with this deck, making just about everything outside of removal spells super cheap. +1, exile the top card of your library face down, look at it, and create a 2/2 colorless spirit creature token. When that token leaves the battlefield, put the exile card in your hand. Now, the thing to note is that it's not when that token dies. It's actually when that token leaves the battlefield. So I believe people are thinking, well, if I just cryo the Carnarium, I get rid of all their 2/2s, and they're not going to get those cards back. Nope, not true. All those cards are actually going to come back to their hand, so you don't have to worry about them, because they do immediately get exiled and then come back. I should say they are exiled when you flip it over, so they're sitting out there and they can come back. One thing I have not tried is to pull a card from exile with Karn that is underneath an Ugin yet. Just haven't needed it. I guess it's not bad. You could probably do it if you had to, but I think there's better things that you grab out of the sideboard. So next thing is his -3 is destroy target permanent that's 1 or more colors. It is great. So the fact that there's not a whole lot that you don't want to hit. The only thing that shuts this thing down so far, or that I've had a problem with, is the Immortal Sun, which basically wrecks any deck with Planeswalkers that are based around Planeswalkers right now. So this is pretty good. So I really like it. I don't think 6 is wrong for a rare Planeswalker. It's pretty good. So only have the 2 abilities is nice. I don't know if I'd really much rather have anything else. I think that his static ability really makes up for only having 2. So, and then again, just the lands here. So now go to the sideboard. So I'm playing the 1 Fountain of Renewal on the side, just in case I can't find it and I need to have it. Like I said earlier, I was playing more in the main board, didn't have one there. Just decided that it was better this way. So next is Amulet of Safekeeping. Whenever you become the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, counter that spell or ability unless its controller pays 1. It's not horrible. It is an artifact. Does also say creature tokens get -1, -0, which, pardon me, does actually hurt you a little bit with playing Ugin. Making 1/2 is not as good as making 2/2s, but that also being said, when somebody's into Afterlife, that making 0/1 flyers is pretty good. So all they're doing is blocking, and that's all they can do. So next is Pendulum of Patterns. When it enters the battlefield, you gain 3 life, pay 5, tap it, sack it, and draw a card. It's great for 2. It's an easy way to just kind of gain a little bit of life earlier. It sits out there. You can animate it. It's a 2/2 at that point, but then late in the game, you can pay 5. It is a little costly, but you do get to draw a card. Next, Sorcerous Spyglass. Spyglass is super relevant right now. People don't think about these things. Depending on what your local metagame is like, you do need to play Spyglass in the side. I have not been playing it and realized that I need to be playing it now. Things like the new Nicol Bolas, Teferi, Kaya. I've heard somebody say Sarkin is pretty bad with the dragons that they can pump out there right now. Then you have Ajani, the new Ajani, plus I guess the white Ajani and a mono white deck or white variant that's playing. We see ours at our local is Hoatli with the gentleman playing tokens. So Spyglass is really good, being able to shut down one. Now it is just one, doesn't deal with everything, but it is there. It does cost 2, and late game you can just chump with it if you absolutely had to. So next is a card that I like it. I have played this card. It is very interesting. Chaos Wand. Pay 4, tap it. Target opponent exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile an instant or sorcery card. And you may cast that card without paying its mana cost. Then put the exiled cards that weren't cast this way on the bottom of the library in a random order. Thing is really good if you're playing, say, blue-white control. Being able to actually, when they cast their Planeswalker or their spell, just try to hit a random counter spell and deal with their spell with their own spell is pretty funny. So not super easy to use, but it is a lot of fun when you are able to use it. Next is Guardians of Koilos. So this 4/4 for 5. There's a reason that it is a common. I mean, 4/4 for 5 is not that great. When Guardians of Koilos enters battlefield, you may return another target historic permanent you control to its owner's hand. Great part about this thing is that if you absolutely have to, and you have some stupid things going on with Guardians of Koilos, you can minus. If you have enough to be able to cast the Guardians, say you go find it with this one, make a couple of dudes, or make a dude that turn maybe takes Karn down to 1. You can bounce the Karn with the Guardians of Koilos, put the Karn back onto the battlefield, -1 again, pumping both of the dudes that you made that turn. It's pretty good. If you need to remove multiple cards in a turn, remove multiple things in a turn, so Ugin's pretty good with that. Dealing some extra damage to gain some extra life. Tezzeret's pretty good with that. So there are some things that you can bounce. And then, I mean, it's just good value in this deck if you're able to utilize it. Another thing that you can do is if you need to lock somebody out with the Immortal Sun, if you have a Guardians and you already grab a Guardians prior to that and then go grab an Immortal Sun, you can bounce this back to your hand and then unlock all your Planeswalkers. If you need to, say, tick them up one more time to try to finish the job, slam the Immortal Sun back down, people can't worry about it, those sorts of things. Next after that is God Pharaoh's Statue. Not sure this card is really that good as a 2 of in the sideboard, but the fact that it does spells your opponent's cast, costs 2 more to cast, is alright. But at the beginning of your end step, each opponent loses 1 life. The 1 life is fairly relevant. I didn't think it was going to be. You think about 1 and 1 and 1. Them losing 1 life, it gets you there eventually. The same thing to be said about Fountain of Renewal. Gaining 1 life every turn can actually make the difference, even if you gain 3 or 4 and that's it. Them losing 3 or 4 can be the difference in the game there. So, not too shabby. Does cost 6 though. Next is what seems to be the card that is the bane of the War of the Spark set, so far at least. The Immortal Sun. Everybody is playing Artifact Hate because of this card. So 6 mana, so much text, and I have missed a bunch of it on multiple occasions playing this card, and playing it myself. Just have to stop and read the card every single turn. So first thing, players can activate Planeswalker loyalty abilities. Great when you have to play against somebody that's playing, say, just Esper control with Kayas and Teferis. You play this, you lock them out. If they don't have a way to remove it, they can't win the game. 2, at the beginning of your draw step, draw an additional card. It's great when you're trying to pump out as many artifacts as possible. Drawing 2 artifacts a turn, absolutely amazing, especially if one of them draws you an additional card. 3, spells that you cast cost 1 less to cast. We already have artifact cheapeners, depending on which ones or what you have out there. This making it even cheaper everything is essentially almost free. But then also making the Vraska's Contempt cost 3, Finale of Eternity, you get 1 free off of that. So it's really good there. And then creatures you control get +1/+1. That one's not too relevant unless you're pumping out a bunch of tokens with, say, Ugin. Because Karn is going to make, Cynoverse is going to make big creatures no matter what, and your Sky Scanners would just be 2/2s. But making 3/3s out of random cards in your library is pretty good. So there's, like I said, there's a lot of things this card does. I understand why everybody's hating on it right now. And then the last card in our sideboard and last card of the deck is Meteor Golem. This thing has been amazing. The fact that you just go grab it out of the sideboard when you need it, for whatever you need it, is great. Playing both Ugin and Tezzeret, the two of them alone, Ugin makes everything 2 less, so every color spell 2 less, so it costs 5. Then you have Tezzeret making your artifact creature spells have affinity for artifacts, and generally when you're going to find this thing, you have the 5 artifacts. If not, you have 4 at least. So if you're tutoring this thing with Karn, you're casting a 1 mana 3/3 that destroys a non-land permanent an opponent controls. And I actually had a game where I could not draw Vraska's Contempt to stave dying from a Rekindling Phoenix. And what I was actually able to do was go find Meteor Golem, cast Meteor Golem for free, destroy their Rekindling Phoenix, then Finale of Eternity for X=1, destroy their token, a 3/1 that they had, and a 2/1 Pyromancer that they had. And the opponent actually ended up scooping once I did that because there was nothing that they could draw to bring them back into the game. So it was pretty good. So that's the deck. We named it Tez's Army. It might not necessarily be Tez's Army, it might be somebody else's army, but we're going to go ahead and see how this thing plays out and constructed. So it took a little bit longer than I had planned on, but going through the deck, but it's cool. I like it. I do love the standard format, the way that it is right now. Everything is kind of a shake-up, so you don't know what's going to happen and what you can play. We go first. It's actually pretty good. We're going to keep this. Guild Globe, draw a card. We're going to try to find some lands here. So we Guild Globe on 2, Treasure Map on 3. The Guild Globe doesn't do much for us other than helping to try to find extra land, but no point in playing the Treasure Map, I don't think. Finale's pretty good if you can ramp up. So Vraska's Contempt, I think, is going to be, or I'll try to wait for either Chain Whirler or Steamkin. So those are both very problematic cards for this deck. They're really big for super cheap. May just be dead, but I'll go ahead and play this. No, so we actually can. Do I want to wait? No, I don't. I don't think we can. We go X=1. Choose these two. It is toughness though, not power. So, I mean, that was just about, yeah. See, if we'd have waited, we could have got 3. That's all right. Let's go ahead. Yeah. They seem to be stuck on lands. So we're just going to go ahead and make this 2/2. We do have the blue, so it doesn't much matter. I'm just going to hope to stop them. If this thing eats a piece of burn, then which looks like it's going to, yeah, that's fine. That's 3 damage that I don't take, so I'm quite alright with that. Yep. So let's see. If I go treasure map, doesn't do a whole lot. But I can -2 go get a Fountain of Renewal, plus play the treasure map. I'll lose the Karn. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm okay with that. Make sure there's nothing better in here that's... I think it's just Fountain of Renewal. So, play the Fountain of Renewal. Yeah, we're going to lose our Karn anyway, so this is okay. We're just going to go ahead and scry now. I don't want that. I need something better. Yeah, see, and that's a good point to holding the Nebraska's Contempt here. So, ooh, cry. Wonder if we can get out of this. So 1, 2, 3. I think we can Contempt. So this plus 3 makes 4, which is actually 4 anyway. So then 5, 6. So we're 1 shy. So we're actually just going to... We're going to scry and see what... Sky Scanner. We can cry and play Sky Scanner next turn. So I'm actually going to leave the Sky Scanner on top. And we'll see. So we go up to 13 by exiling Chain Whirler. And then take 3, go to 10. Now, if they have another Chain Whirler, that's fine, because we could actually cry, then play Sky Scanner. Yeah, that's fine. We just have to hope to beat the Experimental Frenzy. So we need land. Basic Swamp would be good, yeah. So we just go ahead and scry this now. Guild Globe. I think I'm actually going to keep the Guild Globe. And the reason why I say that is that next turn I can play the Guild Globe, makes an additional artifact, and then we're actually pretty good because of the Cabal Stronghold. The Stronghold's starting to produce extra mana. We just have to hope with so the cool part is with Treasure Cove, all of these flipping, like, you get to draw extra cards late in the game, but with Tezzeret, they just make things better. So we're going to have a pretty big swing here. Instead of 1 mana, so... Yeah, I think it's fine. We're trying to make sure that the 2 damage gets in. So go to 6, okay. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, add 3, go to 3, draw a card. Ooh, Contempt. That's interesting. So we won't have any way to block Tezzeret with Tezzeret, but like, it will actually be pretty good. We're gonna go 4, 5, and add blue with this. Nice part about this, do get to gain 5. Oh, we could Contempt. I guess we'll wait and see what happens here. So if they have a shock, they have a lot of lands, so they can cast anything. 3, 4, 5 spells. So problem is, yeah, I think they would just let him attack the Tezzeret. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 artifacts. It's fine. Let that happen. So it's 4. It's going to deal 2 points to me. Okay. So it can't kill the Tezzeret. So that's what it's telling me. So... Yep, my turn. I'm actually not going to draw a card. So we'll see. We're gonna ramp this up a little bit. Play the Lantern. Tezzeret's huge, pulling us out of range for them. I think I'm going to just go ahead and contempt this now. Turns off the Wizard's Lightning unless they have another one. It makes them pay 3 for it. We're back at 19. Now we are able to sack a treasure. I think end of turn, 5 points is pretty good. Steam King can't attack, so we're getting pretty lucky that they're bricking pretty hardcore so far. We do want to draw that extra card. Ooh. Not exactly what we wanted to see, but... Alright, so... What do we have here? A Sky Scanner and a Guild Globe. I'm gonna pay this. We're actually gonna... Sack Treasure, draw a card? Yeah, if we don't draw an artifact, then we're only draining for 4. Yeah, I want to do this first. Gives us 2 chances to... Now we'll go ahead and do this just in case it's another artifact that's actually relevant. Ooh, but a Tezzeret is pretty good. That's actually just game. So, relevance. It costs blue-black to play the second Tezzeret. Because of the affinity, Planeswalkers getting affinity for artifacts. And let's see. Yep, they don't have an answer. So, drawing the second Tezzeret, actually winning the game there. 9 points of damage for, I don't know, 2 mana. If you want to think about it that way, playing that second Tez. So, pretty good. I like this deck. It's fun. There's a lot of things to do. A lot of ways to think about, or a lot of things to think about, I guess. So, I think it could take a little bit of tweaking. May needs more artifacts. I may have to cut the Ritual sets back out. They're 4-mana board wipers, but they don't deal with anything late in the game. So as far as big creatures go, but we'll see. We'll see what plays out here. Opponent goes first. So we have a 2, a couple 3s. More than likely, we're going to play the treasure map, but not do anything with it. See a lot of mono red, so we do need to cry on 3, more than likely. And being on the draw is pretty hard also, so... Come on, you're playing mono red. It's not that hard. You like beat us by turn 4, so yeah, and it looks like they've got just a absolutely ridiculous hand. Probably Fistful of Burn would be my guess. So we probably have to, no matter what. Yeah, we have to cry this turn. So we're doing 9. Ugh. Probably have to cry this turn, ritual next turn. Oh, we drew multiple rituals. That's not... I mean, it's not horrible, I guess, against red, but next turn we need to be doing some things. So my guess is they've got Chain Whirlers stuck in their hand. So they'll probably go Mountain Shock here. Take me to 5. Alright, so playing this. Which one's better? This one or this one? It's actually very hard, I think, here. I don't think the Geode does anything for me. Going to Geode 2. But they have Shock, and this would literally just make a 2-2. That also just makes a 2-2. So maybe the Geode is better. Yeah, we can Geode. We can 2 Scries. So I think we're probably just dead. Pin on the play is... Ooh, leave that there. Yeah, we'll just scry it anyway. Yeah. So next turn we could actually Fountain Karn Scion. Yeah, Chain Whirler. Actually Chain Whirler plus... That kills us, doesn't it? Chain Whirler plus attacks. So if we go Fountain of Renewal, yeah, we have Fountain of Renewal, Karn, make a 4/4. It's forced to block their Chain Whirler. So I'm assuming they have a second Chain Whirler in hand. They're holding way too many cards for too long. So unless they have like a Rekindling Phoenix, I guess. But oh, I guess Goblin Instigator. This doesn't look too fantastic. So let's do this. Yeah, probably should have scryed on up. Yeah, actually, that's fine. Probably should have scryed on upkeep. See if there's something we own outside. Apologize. I have things written down to make sure I know what's in my sideboard here. I don't think there's anything that helps me that well. Alright, let's just go with this. We're going to, yeah, we're going to sacrifice this. If he's got another Chain Whirler, he's got another Chain Whirler. I want to go grab the other Fountain. Play the Fountain. So getting us back into it, 2 life a turn is pretty good. Try not to hit these ritual sets because I can't do anything with that. So our opponent's going to try to, I think, take out our Karns. Yeah. Oh, they're just attacking me, so let's go blocks. Let's go here. They're gonna probably shoot one of these guys. Whatever, that's fine. That's not that big a deal. Oh. They get him 1 point of damage. So either they had 2 shocks, they kill us. If not, they have to take out the token with the 3 damage spell. So yeah, they have the extra point of burn. Or are they just trying to get us down? They're just trying to get us down low enough. Yep. Let's go ahead and scry. Sure. Gain a couple lives. Try Guild Glow. We're gonna actually, yeah, Guild Glow's draw. So put these two. Oh yay! I mean, it pushes through, which is fine. Then actually, we're gonna play this, play this, play this. Ooh. So next turn, if we can fade a burn spell, a 3 damage burn spell, and we're gonna make Mana Geode or Guild Globe. We're gonna make Mana Geode.
Some solutions must be built.
Do we just attack with these two? So yeah, I mean, it's like they're on like 3 damage burn spell or bust, really. They draw it. They're slow rolling us if they did. Yeah, I'm blocking, dude. I'm blocking hardcore here. So no matter what, I don't really care about losing that G. Oh, we're dead to a shock. We're dead to a shock. Oh! Alright. So 2 mono red decks in a row. That one was on the draw. That was actually pretty rough. I thought we were going to need to board wipe a little bit more than we did. So early cry was pretty good on 3. And them not drawing the 3rd land for Chain Whirler. The Chain Whirler's brutal. It's really hard to deal with in this deck. Everything you're animating is a 2/2 or a 3/3, so it's a little bit rougher there. Sure, we'll keep this. Turning the Lantern or the Geode into a 3/3 is pretty good. It does kind of stink that those are the other 2 lands there, but that's better. So we're gonna hope they like. Sure. Nothing. Okay. So we're going to scry one. Treasure map. So next turn, 3, 4, 5. So I go lantern map. Or map cry. Yeah, it's fine. I do get the Geode and the 2-mana one mixed up a lot. Yeah, we're crying. We have to right now. So play this. Play this. No choices here. Yep. Hopefully our opponent was just all in on the Evolution Sage Pelt Collector. Yeah. Alright. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Didn't draw a land. That kind of stinks. So I go 4. Make a 3/3. Yeah, that's fine. And then we just scry. Try to get this thing flipped. Ooh. I don't actually need that though. I need lands. So we're gonna go ahead and set this for upkeep. That's good. Yep, sure, you get to make a 5/5. You're gonna HUD map. Yeah. Ugin. So, do I want this? I think I want the Sky Scanner. Well, do I want the Sky Scanner? So if I do the Lantern, yeah, I think we'll do Lantern. So then we can just do this also. So 5/5s. They have 2 cards in hand. We're gonna force this. They either lose their Ajani or lose their Loxodon. I'm fine with that. We should hit a land. Yeah. Or upkeep. Prison Realm. Oig. Oig, 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 oig. That's okay. That's okay. So, beautiful part. If it did exile something relevant, Ugin just gets it back. So, but we're going to actually flip the map. Yeah, we need that swamp. Man, play this. Okay, so I can play, yeah, play the Ugin. I'm going to just straight up minus the Ugin and deal with the Ajani. Plus the Karn. What do you want to give me? That's fine. Gil Globe. Yeah, it's okay. So Lantern costs 1. I'll play black. And I'm okay with that because it just replaces itself, so now Sky Scanner actually just pays with the Lantern. So Tezzeret. Man, I guess next turn we can Tez. Do I want to play this Karn though? It's gonna cost me my artifact now. So next turn we can Tezzeret Karn. Absolutely no problem whatsoever. Sure, you can have a Vivian. The new Vivian's super sweet.
Let's tear this place apart. Wait, you think nature is kind?
The cool part about Vivian is it just hide whatever creature it is. So you don't have to black, blue, red, green. Let's just tap this for colorless. That's 4. 5, 6. So play Tezzeret here. And now Karn's gonna drop for free. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Color spells cost 2 less. Yep. So let's go ahead and go find Meteor Golem. Wonderful, right? 3/3 for 0 that blows up something. Just try to keep them off of the value train they got going on. This will force them to play their creature right now if they found something that's super relevant. Yeah, so there you go. Resolve. Sure, proliferate. So they already had that creature. Let's go. What do we have with a counter Sky Scanner? We're actually, yeah, I think we actually play that. It's actually not horrible right now, I don't think. Ooh, Contempt. Okay, Ugin's gonna make a dude. And this guy's gonna go up. Getcha. So, yeah, okay. Gonna destroy the meteor golem? Nope. Just gonna concede. Yeah, it's pretty nuts though. We actually could have gone, if we cared too much about the raptor, could have played the second Karn for free, gone and found the second copy of Meteor Golem, and then blown up their raptor, and then they're sitting on virtually nothing. I think that would have been the next turn. Like, we would have minused again on the Karn, and then probably plus the second one. I don't like keeping hands that you can't cast anything. Oh, this is even worse. We go first. Alright, we're gonna keep it. Yep, push it. I'm gonna get owned. Seems like, I don't know if it's the design or what's going on, but like, if you get stuck at 2, if you keep an opening hand of 7, and you have 2 lands, you're not getting out of 2 lands. I don't know if it's just something that's been going on lately. I've had way too many games where we're just stuck at 2 lands and can't do anything. So we do need to draw 1. Oh no, we don't. Yeah, we're gonna leave that right there. We want the backup ritual set. Nah, don't need it now. We're nearly dead, but just fire that off. We do want the backup ritual, so we have Content for like Loxodon. And this is the Tapper version. Play out another 1/1. Come on, play out a 2/2. I'm actually just gonna. Yeah, I think this is fine. So 2-for-1s and 3-for-1s feel really good. Okay, so now we can Karn the Geode 4, 5, 6. Oh, man, we really need another land. And we're not playing a rock in the sideboard, so we're just gonna Karn the Geode. Gives us a 3/3. I mean, the best I think they're attacking for next turn is 1. So, Dauntless Bodyguard. That's fine. Choose a Snubhorn Sentry. Let's see. Man, oh man, oh man. Okay, so we have to do this. We need to find lands, unfortunately. So yeah, that's fine. We'll get a land, and then this will go up. We're not blocking. That's what taking both of them up. We are, however, attacking. So. Ooh, Banalish Marshal. 4. Attacking me. Okay, so play that land. Ugin. Man. So Ugin makes a dude. Karn makes a dude. Makes 2/2s, 2/2s. This makes 2/2. So I can't cast anything. Oh, I guess let's see. Oh, is just destroying the Banalish Marshal better? And they're living off the top, right? So that actually saves me 5 points of damage. Yeah. And then do I have? I actually could go grab Fountain of Renewal with that. This guy's going down. I think regardless of what I do. Yeah. So I think I want to kick this down. I think I want to go grab Fountain of Renewal. It makes this a 3/3. Next turn, I'm fine. There. Ugh. So they're attacking me. That's fine. So go to 2, go to 3. So we have to. Yeah, this has to go down. I have to make something big enough to deal with the Dauntless Bodyguard. Ugin has to go up. And then. See, it's 4, 5, 6, 7. Mana Geode's 8. This Ugin. I actually take this Ugin. Yes. I want to minus this Ugin. I want to minus Ugin on the Dauntless Bodyguard. So they lose the Bodyguard no matter what. And then. Yep. It's fine. Attack with a 4/4. They can block. That's fine. I shouldn't have attacked. Yep. It just keeps them honest. Then this one, we're going to plus make Mana Geode, and then see what they play. And I'll probably just contempt the Snubhorn Sentry, but turns out it didn't matter. Gateway Sneak. So I like this deck. There's a, I know I say it every week. I think there's a possibility to play this deck on Friday. Not sure. I was thinking about running back the command deck because it could be a lot of fun if you're playing the right matchups. It just looks almost like we're getting out of that setup at our local LGS. So yeah, we keep this. 3 basic swamps. We have a turn 2 play and a couple turn 3 plays. So kind of nice here. We'll actually just draw a card off of this. Hit the land that we need. Hit the land that we didn't need. At least not yet. Yeah, we need to find some removal, so we actually want to play this because we want to see that go to the bottom. I need to find a Cry. A Cry I don't think it's gonna help us now. We need to find a Ritual Soot. Yeah, Cry doesn't help us, so we need to find a Ritual Soot. Tezzeret. We can play Tezzeret, but it doesn't do anything. No, we can't. That's not a rock. So we play this. Next turn we have to play Ugin. Probably have to play Ugin Destroy Steamkin. Not very exciting. Unless we could draw a Ritual Soot, because they are going to ramp back up. Play their hand. They might just actually kill us this turn. Turn 4 win on the... playing so many lands and nothing of relevance. We just dead. So, deal 3, gain 3, go to 5, die. Yeah, we're just dead. So, 2-1 so far, this time around against Mono Red. They drew about perfectly. 1, 2, 3. Hopefully, we make this thing. I did take this thing to, is it 7-2 or 6-2 or whatever it is, and capped it out. So that's kind of cool. We were playing a lot of 4 and 6 drops. We're gonna mulligan that. We're gonna keep that though. Yeah. I don't know what we're playing against here. This is probably a priest deck. It's not attacking much. So we're gonna try to do this. We want to. I think next turn we're probably gonna lantern. Oh no, just zombies. Monobug zombies. So we can wait for the ritual. So we're just gonna cantrip then. That's fine. I'm super greedy here. So if I go do this, then do this. Like, I don't mind taking and going to like 8 or 9. I really don't. Against a lot of decks, we have so much. Like, this thing dies, they get a 2/2, and that kind of stinks, but just take 5, go to 11. Like I said, I'm super greedy. Man. So I did this. 1, 2, yeah, I can still do that. And ritual. Yep. That's fine. Oh, yeah, I forgot the chupacabra costs 4. You get that compass flipped. If we can flip the compass, we can keep the 2/2 at bay. It's really weird to say, like, we can keep the 2/2 at bay, but we really need to draw an Ugin or a Karn, though. They make all the difference in the world for us. Alright, so our opponent was flooding out. Not having things. Okay. I guess. 4, 5, 6. So I could buy back Sky Scanner. If it dies, I lose the Tezzeret. Or we just make him take 4. This could actually be a clock with this, so we need oh no, lost our Tezzeret anyway. Ote. What outside of the game helps us with this? So Amulet. Their zombie creatures -1. Wonder. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Okay, so play this. Play this. Stop the rope for a minute. Plus this, I guess is fine. Like, you're gonna kill it, sure. I mean, I can't do anything about that. One thing we can do, though, now with the Spires, is that this thing's not going to attack us with lifelink. So... Sure. Karn takes 2. Boop. Boop.
You are only hurting yourself.
Okay, so... 6, 7. I can Meteor Golem the open the graves. And that gives me, yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I can actually Guardians of Koilos. And just 5 losing with 2, 3. I can't 4. That doesn't do anything, so... Yeah, I think I'm actually just gonna Guardians. And then... Yeah, that'll work. Bounce the Karn back to my hand. This seems fine. Because it adds 2, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we'll do that. 2 next turn. So... we're just gonna not turn anything into a creature? Yeah, that's just better. So if they kill the Guardians, feels really bad. I think next turn will actually... I think next turn we'll drop the Meteor Golem. Yeah, see, kill the Guardians of Koilos. That stinks. So the card takes 5. Which is not killing us, I guess. So, oh, that's brutal. Brutal. But we just die here. So we plus on that. Target the lantern. Got no choice. Play a Sky Scanner. No attacks. Sure, you lose 1 on a mass. That thing is not gonna hit me. I had no choices here. If they have any piece of removal, I die. So... remove that guy from combat. Throw the Sky Scanner under the bus. Lantern blocks here, because I don't want you to make another dude. Take 2. Yup. That thing and that thing are ridiculous together. So... But I don't think... There's not a board wipe in the sideboard, so... We're just dead. And we're just dead. Because I would need to plus this to get something. Play the Mana Geode. I literally can take that thing out of combat and take like one of these out of combat. Take 5. Go find the Meteor Golem. Meteor Golem destroys this thing. Blocks one of these. And then I'm going to untap one of them. Take 3. Yeah. So if we Guardians, does that help us? Let's find out. Guardians. Bounce this. Go. Let me get 2/2, but no. Yeah, and I still think, yeah, we're still dead. Right, so. Because that bucks 2 is 3, yeah, we're dead. We're dead. Dang! If we found a board wipe, we'd have been really good. Not digging far enough. Not digging far enough. Ooh, Double Cry Guild. Why not? This actually isn't horrible as long as we don't flood out. So we have 4 lands. Guild Globe on 2, Cry on 3 and 4 if need be. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Oh yeah. So potentially Gruul Stompy, or maybe we're just playing the Guildgate deck. Nope. So what's the name? The name's Warrior. Ote. Name all the warriors you want. Yes, I know. Crawl, Harpooner, Box, Skyscanner. That's perfectly fine. I also just take 3 if you attack. I see now. I see the synergy. I also see that and raise you that. So Double Cry kind of stinks. Warrior deck, huh?
The wild wasn't meant to be contained.
So next turn we play land, Guild Globe. Hopefully we draw another 2 or 3 mana artifact. There we go. It's actually a pretty good one to have. So draw. I probably should have. Yeah, it's fine. So I'll play this. I'm gonna just go ahead and scry it now. Fountain of Renewal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it's fine. We'll leave it on top. So this 4, 5, 6. These don't actually add anything to us. But I think next turn, I mean, depending on what our opponent does. If our opponent doesn't commit anything to the board. Yeah. So I think we just want to play the Fountain. So they're Vivian having, they're Vivian having Flash. It's pretty good. That finale is actually, since we didn't block, I doubt we're gonna make it 10, but we can actually double cry. So I don't believe our opponent is going to play anything though on their turn at all ever again. There's no need for it, so
You fight like a city brat.
we should do some broken things with Vivian and Wilderness Reclamation. So Vigilance and Reach. Chandra. So, do we double cry? Or Tez and try to get pressure going? I think we Tez, because in the following turn we can finale. I mean, they're gonna kill the Tez, but I didn't see, wasn't paying attention, play the extra land here. But I think we just Tez. We try to live long enough. So, because they have to go end of turn. I'm not sure how we get out of this. We have Bolas' Citadel. I didn't realize this one card haven't seen this entire time. Card would be ridiculous right now. So just the fact that Bolas' Citadel allows you to generate, 2 and 3 cards, it is enough. Citadel's enough to make the difference. But if you do Bolas' Citadel with Karn turning it into a 6/6 is pretty sweet. So at least we don't go to 9 here.
All things begin and end in nature.
So 5/6. So we can kill up to 3 4/4s. Stinks that finale is not a instant. Would be super nice if it was. Do I want to finale? I want to force them to play multiple creatures to get value out of finale. Double cry is 4. Yeah, we're just gonna cry twice. Make them cry a little bit, hopefully, inside. So this is really interesting. So exile type card, you can play this turn. Oh, that's not good. Not good at all.
No problem.
But so if you exile a creature, it forces you to play on your turn, where Vivian allows you to play a creature in your own turn. Now, the other bad part about Vivian, though, is that if you don't hit a creature for some reason or another, whatever card it is that you take, because you do have to exile one, is gone.
Over's the only way.
So I guess taking 6 this turn kind of stinks. They had to flash in a Growth Chamber Guardian and adapt it. So 4, 8, 9, 10. So we have to use the finale. Finale for 5, because I guess the finale for 4. We had the treasure map's been stuck, and I didn't even pay attention. We did double cry and we tapped out last turn, but I'm just gonna go ahead and do this. Yeah, because excuse me. We get Skyscanner plus Geode plus draw a card with Treasure Map or Treasure Cove. It's cool artwork. But we may be dead. That really kind of stinks because, yeah. Yeah. Can't do anything about that. And there's Lightning Strike. So we are just dead. Yep. So, there you have it. Really stinks. We started off four wins in a row. And I ended up with 3. So, but like I said earlier, though, I did make 7-2, which is pretty cool. So, deck's interesting. I like it. It's another little option, something to play if you enjoy playing something that is not necessarily your tier 1 deck. You have a little bit of fun. If you're playing something that you get to create a couple creatures, make a couple different choices. It's not necessarily a control deck, but kind of is. You may cut the Ritual Soots, depending on what your meta is at your LGS. But like Ritual Soots for like 2 more Fountain of Renewal. Ritual Soots and Cry Canaries are pretty good though. You need the Cries for like mono white because they can make their stuff indestructible. And then you need the Ritual Soots for stuff like mono red if it's around. It's also decent but not the greatest against like mono blue. I think you need both of them if that's the case. So, but there it is. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Nice little deck. See it play through. Unfortunately, didn't get to play Bolas the Citadel, but maybe next time. So until then, if you want to see this, hopefully we'll play this. I'm thinking potentially Friday, if not the following week. We don't come up with something else. Visit Liberty Coins MTG to see those games play out, and also head over there to see the deck tech if you haven't from the week or the video from the deck that we played this last week. So until then, have fun and thanks for watching.